Okay, so your homework tonight, I'll go over that real quick and then we'll get started on what we're doing. Is this unit rate worksheet. It's a Word document. I forgot to change it, but if you open it and then do open with Google Docs, it opens quite nicely. The formatting is better. Remember, you are only turning in one document for the week. So if you just want to copy and paste this, or you can print it, whatever works better for you. But it's the like unit rate, words per minute. You're just doing your division. And then underneath that, or after those, is comparing, like we did on the do the math yesterday. So which is a better buy? And then there's some just kind of more applications of those. So that's your homework. What we are going to do right now is this analyze understanding inflation assignment. So you don't have to make your own copy of it. You can just copy and paste the boxes, or you can just in your Word doc or Google Doc, just title this part, analyze understanding inflation, and then just type number 1. Number 2, you don't have to type all the answers. You could just, or all the questions, just the answers would be fine. All right, so give you, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds if you want to copy and paste that and get it set up. If you want your own copy, I will also make my own copy so that it is not written on. So I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, so we're gonna do this understanding inflation assignment today. Saving money in a bank account that earns less in interest, for example, 0.75%, than the economy experiences inflation, average 3%, leaving you with less spending power in the future. So again, inflation is on average 3%. They're saying this example is less than 1% of interest. So if you save $500 in a savings account now, you'll be able to buy less with it in 2025 than you could buy today. That's what makes investing an important part of your long-term financial health. There's an inflation calculator we're going to use here when we get down a couple problems later on. And we'll get more into this when we get into the investing chapter, but it's just another kind of perception on inflation. So number 1, so the bold right here, sorry. Suppose you're heading off to college next year somewhere cold and you want to purchase a North Face parka for $350. From each paycheck of your after-school job, you're able to save $45 towards the coat. You get paid twice a month. How many months will it take you to save enough money to buy your North Face jacket? So each month then, you get paid twice a month for $45. So 2 times $45 is going to be $90 that you would make each month. So then $350 divided by $90. We want to know how many of those months it would take. Is going to be 3.89. So we're going to round that to 4 months. Right? Because you're not going to get paid 3.89 times. So in 4 months, you would have enough money to buy that coat. So using this strategy, how will inflation affect your ability to buy the jacket? So I'm going to wait for at least 10 answers on this one. how does inflation impact your ability to buy this jacket? Think about what happens with inflation and over time. So I've gotten a few answers. Like I said, I'm going to wait for at least a couple of more.
Wait, a couple more?
I'm waiting for people to respond to the question, number 2.
Oh. Wait, how do we go there?
Google Classroom. It's on my screen though, just number 2 there. How will inflation impact your ability to buy the jacket?
Oh, do we like answer in chat or something?
You can say it out loud or in chat, either way. I've gotten a handful of answers in chat. If you want to say it out loud, that's fine too.
Oh yeah, inflation will impact your ability to buy the jacket by making it like making your purchasing power lower. So it'll take you more money to buy the jacket, so it's more expensive.
Perfect, thank you. And that's what most people in the chat have said. Thank you guys. So you need to type something along these lines, make it your own. The jacket's going to be more expensive. Inflation decreases your purchasing power. It may take longer to save to buy it. Maybe not, right? Because in 4 months, you're really going to have $360. So it might not go up more than $10 in 3 months. But in general, it's going to cost more and your purchasing power will go down because money loses value over time. Anything along those lines. Your purchasing power will go down. The coat will become more expensive with inflation. So you're thinking $350 is a lot of money for a high school student, and you understand that due to inflation, the same jacket would have cost less than $350 in the past. Use the calculator to determine how much the same jacket, had it been available, would have cost the year that you were born. What year were you guys born?
04.
04?
04.
04, 03. So it'll be slightly different for everyone. So I'm going to show you how to use this calculator here. And I'll type it in for both groups. So this inflation calculator measures the buying power of the dollar over time. Enter 2 dates from 1913 to 2021, an amount, and then click calculate. So if in 2021, now I purchased an item for $350, that's how much this jacket is. Then in 2004, 2004, the same item would have cost $252.75. So if you were born in
battery low
04, your answer is $252.75. If you were born in 03, that jacket would have been even cheaper at $246.19. Whatever year you were born, 2003 is $246.19. So 246.19 for 2003, and I think it was 252.75 for 2004. You're not going to have both of those, obviously just one of them. So how much cheaper was the coat the year that you were born? You're just going to do $350 minus whatever you got right here. So 350 minus 246.19 equals, or 350 minus 252, sorry, 75. Yeah, so some people shared the answers for you guys, depending on the year. So either way, around $100, because both of those are close to 250. Okay, so you take your answer to question number 4. So you're around $100, and you take it to your parent and say, hey, why didn't you think ahead and buy me this coat the year I was born? Look at all the money you could have saved. Aside from the fact that your parent had no way of knowing you'd want a North Face almost 2 decades later, your parent disagrees with your logic and says there wouldn't have been any savings by buying the coat in your birth year. Why is your parent making that claim? So again, you say, hey, look, we could have saved $100 if you'd bought this back in 2003. And your parent says there wouldn't have been any savings by buying the coat then. What do they mean by that?
Miss Rice, did you want us to make a copy of this document?
So that's what I was saying. You can make a copy, but either way, you're copying and pasting because you're only turning in one document at the end of the week. So you can make a copy of this and then add everything to this, or you can just copy and paste it, or you can just type the title of it, Analyze Understanding Inflation, and then just type 1, the answer 2, the answer 3, the answer, kind of how you do for the vocab worksheet.
Okay, can we write it down too?
Yeah, you can write it down and take a picture too, or
Okay.
notebook, or you can print it and write in there, whatever works.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Rice, can I see the first page again, please?
So a
Thank
couple
you.
people are answering. Thank you. So yeah, $100, that $100 in saving isn't the same in 2021 as it was in 2003 or 2004. Because of inflation, that purchasing power has changed. So what did cost $250 now costs $350. So it's not really saving much. Okay, so number 6. Let's say instead of buying the coat when you were born, your parent put money equal to your answer in question 3 into a savings account that earned 1% interest. What would you be able to buy with your coat today with those funds? Sorry, would you be able to buy the coat today? Why or why not? So number 3, we said, were these 2 answers. So this is a compound interest calculator. So if you had 252.75, that's current principal. That means how much money you have at the time. Annual addition, how much more are they adding every year? We're going to say they're not going to add any more money every year. Years to grow, so that was 2004. It's 2021, so that would be 17 years. And the interest rate was 1%. So you would have $299.33 then. So no, for 2004, I would have $299.33. For 2003, not 5, wrong way. It was what, 246.19, and that's another year. So they would even have less, right? 294.48, so almost $300. You'd make about $50 by putting this money in the bank for 18 years and not doing anything with it at a 1% interest rate. I don't know if anyone needs to see that answer again. Again, for 2003 numbers, it was 294.48. Okay, so if your parents somehow knew the day you were born, you'd someday want a North Face parka for your first year of college, what would he or she have needed to do financially to have $350 for the coat today? So they could invest that money. And there's a few different options. We're not going to get too much into that right now because we're not getting into the investing options. So say it was this same amount. So that was a 1% interest rate. If it were a 2% interest rate, they would have enough money. So one way is invest the same amount of money that, what was it? The 246.19 at 2%. So they could have a higher interest rate. Yep, I'm getting a few different answers. They could put more money down initially. So say they put 300 down initially and it's only 1%. They're still going to have enough money. Other options, say they put $10 down. This annual addition is how much money are they adding each year? Say they add another $10 every year. It's not quite enough, but maybe they put $20 down and add $20 every year. They'd have $420. So that's enough money at the 1% interest rate. So again, they could invest the same amount of money at a higher rate, invest more money one time at the same rate, or add money every year at either rate. So there's several different options. Those are just the basic with the compound interest savings account. And then finally, number 8, you're thinking about a lot about inflation and you think it might be a good idea to set aside the money to buy a fancy leather couch for your first home. You'd like to purchase 10 years after you graduate from high school. So if you're graduating this year, in 10 years, you want to buy a new couch. Why does the inflation calculator not tell you what the inflation adjusted price will be 10 years from now? So here, wrong calculator. So right now, say this couch is $2,000. Just made that up. We want to know what it's going to be in 10 years, 2031, and we go to calculate it and it's not going to tell us. Why? Why won't it tell us the price in 10 years? So what do we mean too long for now? It won't even tell us the price next year. I can't even type 2021 and have it come up. Or sorry, 2022. Let's see. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, it's undetermined. There's no way of knowing what is inflation's going to be like and how it will change. So when we looked at the historical inflation rates, they varied. Some years they were even negative. That's not very common. They can try to guess, but there's no way of knowing. Just like right now, I don't think this time last year any of us would have predicted that we would be out of in-person schooling for a year. same thing. They're not going to be able to accurately predict what the inflation rates will be. So that's why the calculator won't tell us. We don't need to worry about this bonus question. It's doing some online research. So I'm not too concerned about that right now. All right. So